Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and you heard the question in the title correctly. Wizards wants to know, and the Commander Advisory Committee wants to know, should we ban Rhystic Study and Thassa's Oracle in Commander? Now I've got some opinions on it, and we're going to get straight into it, okay? So let's start out with the gist of it. So they were kind of talking in their article about how these cards are both iconic and can be problematic. They talked about things in casual, and they talked about things in CDH, and they asked for the players' opinions on whether or not they should be banned. And you know, I've taken a moment to digest my own thoughts and feelings. I've reached out to my friend Mitch, who plays CDH, to ask his opinion, since I myself have not really been able to dip my toes into CEDH. I figured I'd ask and get informed by somebody who did. And I've kind of looked at the varied opinions from the much larger content creators out there and from people responding to them. And kind of took in all that information. And I have my own opinions on it. So, let's start with Rhystic Study, right? Rhystic Study, as everybody's going to tell you, it's they kind of talked about it being an iconic card of Magic the Gathering and of Commander, right? The meme of, do you pay the one? And so this card is really interesting because both in some casual games and in CDH, it can kind of run away with the format. But an argument I saw that was really good from Rebel Lily was that, is this card any more broken than, say, like an Orcish Bowmasters, right? And I've seen other people ask that same question. And this is for the CDH aspect. So I reached out to Mitch and asked him, and he was not in favor of banning this. And in casual formats, the card, I think, can run away a little bit more because people are less inclined to pay the one at like bracket 4, bracket 3. Although some bracket 3 games you see people actually pay the one. But at CDH it kind of still runs away, but that also enables engines to happen, right? And from what Mitch was telling me and from some gameplay that I watched to try to educate myself on CDH, there are people who win in response to Rhystic Study triggers. Those triggers going off can be a detriment to the person who's having the Rhystic Study trigger go off. And overall, I think that Rhystic Study, if you're going to ban something like Rhystic Study, right, then you have to start looking at cards like Smothering Tithe, Trouble in Pairs, and I just don't think right now we are at a point where banning like things like Smothering Tithe, Mystic Remora, and Trouble in Pairs and Rhystic Study is really needed in the format, right? People have to, in my opinion, and this is going to sound kind of rudish, but like, we shouldn't handhold our fellow players or ourselves, right? We don't need the bowling alley guardrails to keep us from doing the right thing in Magic. And so Rhystic Study is I think it's a very good tool to help teach people responsibility in a game, right? Like it exists in such a way that it teaches you responsibility. When it's okay to pay that one, and when should you not pay the one to further your own game plan, right? And I just think overall, Rhystic Study, at least for now, should stick around. That being said, if we're going to keep it around, it is still a very expensive Magic card, and it should get more reprints. And since it's not very good in 1v1 formats, feel free to reprint it in Standard, honestly. Like, just go ahead and do it. Like, drive that cost down. Not just as a bonus sheet card, but drive it down. But yeah, Rhystic Study, I don't think it... The only way I can think that this gets banned, right, is if Casual Commander starts warping more into like metagame stuff, right? Like if metas start developing on a mass scale. Like sure, there are stores, like when you go to your LGS or your friend group, there's a meta, right? Like I know my friend Aaron Dean has his 3 decks. He has Ulash the Hate Seed, he has Aurelia, and he has oh my god, Vishkal is the other one, right? So I know what to expect there. I know that Mitch runs Kresh. I know that my friend Jason runs Norin the Wary. So like, if that happens on a mass scale where everybody's like, okay, I need to run this card to beat these decks because these decks are showing up everywhere, then I could see it. But let's hope that we never get to a point where Casual Commander is like a competitive format. And when it comes to CDH, I honestly think that CDH is pretty good at policing itself to some degree, at least outsider looking in. Yeah, the entire format is just super fast combos, and I personally would like to see CEDH to just be like, kind of like Legacy in its golden era, where things from combo to control to mid-range to aggro could all exist in the same format, but I don't think that banning Rhystic Study is going to get us there. So, I'm going to vote no on Rhystic Study, alright? You can let me know what you think with that in the comments down below. And then next, we have Thassa's Oracle. So I want to preface this by saying that due to Arena, I despise this card with a fiery, indignant passion. When it was timeless legal and people did the treasure hunt Thassa's Oracle thing and I encountered it every game, I hated it because it was so boring. And honestly, that's why that's a lot of people's sentiment towards Thassa's Oracle, even no matter where they've encountered. It's boring, right? And when I asked Mitch about like potential Thassa's Oracle ban, his response was, good, I wouldn't have to play bad cards. And so this is once again one of those cards that I feel like they're targeting this mostly for CDH, maybe to try to mix up the meta. But like again, watching videos like Rebel Lily and like several others, and like talking to my friend Mitch, banning Thassa's Oracle isn't really going to change up the meta, right? They always will have the next fastest thing, and Thassa's Oracle is just a consistent thing, right? And they have other consistent things to win. When it comes to Casual Commander, I have played thousands of games of Commander. Thousands of games. All the way back from when it started, all the way to now. Thousands. I have never, not one time, even in Bracket 4 or High Bracket 4, encountered Thassa's Oracle in the wild. Never. Not on Spell Table, where degeneracy is rampant, right? Where people bring the VV combo decks into Bracket 2. I have not one time encountered Thassa's Oracle. And honestly, in Casual Commander, I think it's because like everybody just kind of, it's like, think of like nations who have nuclear proliferation, right? It's like mutually assured destruction. Everybody's just like, yeah, we're not going to fire the missile because then everything is bad. And I think that's what keeps Thassa's Oracle out of Casual Commander. It's just like everybody just kind of collectively agrees, like we don't want to do that. And honestly, there are combos that do just as well as Thassa's Oracle and can win just as fast as Thassa's Oracle without being Thassa's Oracle. And so if it's not a problem in Casual Commander, and let me know in the comments down below if you have ever had this be a problem in your Commander pod or Commander play group or your locals, if this card has popped up as a problem. But honestly, like that in Casual Commander, that's a Rule 0 conversation. Like if you roll up and you're like, I got a Thoracle deck, somebody's gonna be like, no, and I don't blame them for that, right? But yeah, just not a problem in Casual. And from the way it sounds, from like what I'm watching, what I'm seeing, and what I'm hearing from my friend Mitch, is just like it's not needed as a ban in CDH. There are other cards that others have mentioned, like I said, Orcish Bowmasters, that are just more warping of the format and eliminating other cards from being able to be played. But they're not talking about banning Orcish Bowmasters, probably because it's going to get a reprint in The Hobbit, right? Like, why would they cut some money cards out at the knees, right? But I I don't think Thassa's Oracle needs a ban unless, much like I said with Rhystic Study, unless it becomes a massive problem in casual Commander. And I at least am just not like I said, I play a lot of Commander. I play at with my friend, different friend groups. I play on Spell Table, and it doesn't seem to be a problem. And yeah, that evidence is anecdotal, but then when I look online and I look at replies on Blue Sky, on Twitter, when I see people's videos, and I'm seeing pretty much everybody saying the same thing. Those who play the casual Commander don't see this card ever. And if they're going to look at CDH as a realm to ban the card, I would say a good thing that the CAG could do is they could reach out to like some pillars of the format, right? Pillars of CDH, and talk to them and be like, all right, what is it that really needs done in your format? Does it need to be a Thoracle ban? Do we need to focus on some other cards? And then kind of find those cards that might be really busted in CDH, but don't see play in casual, and kind of find something. Because like, if Thoracle's not the problem, they should identify what is. But yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts on both of these cards. I don't see them needing a ban. If anything, honestly, I'm okay with more things coming off the ban list and onto the game changers list, because if you make game changers, you know, you have your 3s, your 4s, and those should be stronger things, right? That could also mix up the format. I mean, it sometimes won't, like Panoptic Mirror and Coalition Victory just don't see play at all. Like, right? Like, the Panoptic Mirror is too slow. I have one for one deck, but let me know in the comments down below. I think so far the CAG's doing a great job. I liked most of these updates, and I like the questions that they posed to the community. I love that community-driven like idea behind this and the work that they're doing. But again, let me know in the comments down below what you think of these potential bans, whether you want to see them banned or whether you don't want to see them banned. I'll probably drop a poll as well on the community tab to gauge the audience when this goes live. But as always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.